Running up the score.
Good evening and welcome to the NFL Draft. Come on, Philly, come on. There you go. We are thrilled to be back here in Philadelphia, where the first draft was held nearly 80 years ago. So tonight, we celebrate the great game that we all love. And we celebrate as NFL dreams come true. So it sounds like you're ready. Are you ready? The NFL Draft for 2017 is officially open. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. With the first pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M. With the second pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky, quarterback, North Carolina. With the third pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Solomon Thomas, defensive end, Stanford. With the fourth pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Leonard Fournette, running back, LSU. With the fifth pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Corey Davis, wide receiver, Western Michigan.
Here comes Bogarts, has to wait on it a bit, gets the certain out, Pedroia taken out. Machado is done, but Pedroia a little shaken up on the play. And did Pedroia get spiked?
Now, there's the slide, he makes contact, but then he comes up and over the back. Looks like he did get spiked in the back of the leg.
And he's going to come out of the game.
And he delivers to Machado. Oh, look out, he hit him. And there's your payback right there. There's your payback right there. The ball up and in, it hit Machado. He tried to duck, and he could not avoid getting hit. So there's your payback, and Machado is heading to first base. You know, that game he gave up just 2 runs in 8 innings. And he had 10 strikeouts in that game. And now Machado almost got hit, and now Sale's going to get warned. Sales threw that ball directly behind Manny Machado, right around shoulders high. And Manny never moved backward. If he had, he would have gotten hit really hard. So right away, I think we get the answer that the Red Sox felt that Dylan Bundy in the game last night did intentionally throw at Mookie Betts. And right away, they go after Manny Machado.
Well,
I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's uncalled for. This guy has maybe among the best command and control in the game, and he throws a pitch behind the hitter. That is just so unnecessary.
Well, he did throw it just above the knee, so I was wrong on that one. That was not shoulders high. He threw that just in back of his left knee, and Machado very fortunate to avoid getting hit by something. But again, Jim, both benches have now been warned.
Isaiah against Morris. Right hand, left hand, pulls up, free throw line, draws contact, and he hits the shot as he crashes to the floor. Scored, and the foul. And just when you think you've seen the best of Isaiah Thomas, he turns the page and creates more magic.
Tell me your life's been
now 2-1. Now the pitch on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Rene Rivera wants to go out to the mound, and Noah's flexing his shoulder. Oh boy. Well, you know, the scary thing is, this is what you lived in fear of with every pitch that he threw.
Running up the score.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Running up the score.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him a heater.
Jerry.
Well, we just don't have enough time for that.
You're very funny, Jerry. That's what I always tell people. Jerry's a funny guy. Funny guy! Right here!
Tom, give me a break. Good joke.
Pick up that piece of trash, Tom. Tuck in your shirt. What are you doing? Have a sense of pride, huh? In fact, why don't you take a lap? Go run a lap! I'm timing you!
Kevin.
Ben is unique. These guys are unique. They're championship runs. I mean, this one's unique.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh.
I don't think you should be butting in when I'm talking to my team. You're my assistant, okay? You're supposed to back me up and go get me juice boxes when I tell you. Now go get me a juice box.
This is Running Up the Score.
It is time to run it up. Running Up the Score with Jerry Napoleonello, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. We are live on Zeno Live, and we are also live on Periscope. Again, I'm here with Tom Galopani. The call number is, as always, 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. We have a lot to get to today. Man, baseball is getting very interesting of late, I have to say. Whether it be the Orioles and the Red Sox feud, some other feuds going on in the league, from tweets, people getting thrown at, things starting in spring training. Oh, and how about those Mets? And that organization, God, they are bad. Then we also had the NFL draft this past weekend. We'll take a deep dive into all of that. NBA and NHL playoffs have been in full swing. We'll dive into what we've learned so far in the second rounds of both playoffs. We have so much more for today. Thank you for joining us. But first, remember to join in with our conversation through the next hour here by calling in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live, or tweet us at RUTS Sports. You can also follow us on Instagram, RUTS Sports, and like us on Facebook. Now, as I said, the Mets.
What a way to start.
What a joke. But I felt impelled to talk about the Mets because they're so bad.
Yeah, it's nice to feel a little bit better about yourself.
But wait, this is a Met City, though.
For about 2 years. 2 years it lasted.
If you want to even call it that. Yeah, the Mets, let's just say, took a very big turn for the worst. And actually, news came out today that Noah Syndergaard will probably miss 3 months. They put him on the 10-day DL, which I really hope they didn't think that those 10 days was actually going to do well for Noah Syndergaard.
I'd hope. You can always believe.
That's all the Mets have been doing.
Yeah, this is true.
So, I mean, since 1986, it's all about believe, we believe. No, I think you got to stop believing, because
you need something else. Belief isn't working.
Joe Boo.
Start sacrificing the chickens.
Oh yeah, get some KFC. But it really hasn't just started with Noah Syndergaard. Mm-hmm. This has been a problem with the Mets organization the last 10 to 15 years. And I have a list of all these players that they've screwed up through injuries that they may have taken lightly that ended up turning out big. And obviously, first, we'll start off with the first this past stuff that's gone on with the Mets, whether it be this whole, let's just say the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So last Wednesday, Yoenis Cespedes, recovering from a hamstring injury after aggravating it on April 20th. He sat out 3 games and was visibly in pain during batting practice. They wanted him to play, though. They wanted him to play. Cespedes inevitably pulls the hamstring again while running out a double that Thursday. Has to be helped off the field. Now he'll miss an extended period of time on the DL. Now we move on to the big one. Noah Syndergaard, Thursday morning, is scratched from his start because of a tired arm. Okay. Some of these pitchers.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. It's definitely something to keep an eye on and maybe get checked out.
I would agree.
Also, that going on there, Harvey has to pitch that game now. So he already is not ready for that. He goes in there, loses about 4 to 5 miles per hour on his fastball in the after the first inning, struggled that whole game. All right. Then, after the game, says he wasn't physically ready for that game. Mets problem again. Then we move on. Thursday through Saturday, Syndergaard refuses an MRI despite being able to lift the arm over his head. That's definitely something to scratch your head at. When your pitcher cannot lift his arm over his head, that's a problem.
I would say there's something wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, the other thing that's wrong is the Mets letting him refuse the MRI.
Yes.
Now, I've heard, obviously, the player has the right not to get an MRI. Fine. But the coach or say even the general manager or the owner wants to step in, they could step in and say, all right, you don't want the MRI? Then you're not going to start.
Exactly.
It all comes down to controlling your team. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if he refuses it or not. This is something big. It's not just something that you could just, throw away. Like, it's turning into the Mets organization and the higher-ups being pushovers by the players because they're so afraid of losing these players. They're so afraid of it. And they want to coddle these players to what they need, to what they want, and it's only hurting the Mets in the long run. I mean, just look at what happened in the World Series with Matt Harvey. Terry Collins wanted to take him out for the 9th. Matt Harvey said, no, I'm not getting out. He ends up not leaving the game. They end up getting rocked and lose that game. It's turning into something bad. Obviously, we all know the after fact. If you heard the beginning of the show, that Syndergaard ended up getting hurt. And now the news is it could be 3 months before you see Noah Syndergaard or Thor on the mound again for the New York Mets.
Just no words anymore.
It's like, I mean, it's the Mets. Or I should say, it's the New York mess.
It's bad.
It is.
It's bad.
I mean, now I go on to, the list of players that they've screwed up in the last, say, 10 years. Yoenis Cespedes, Noah Syndergaard, obviously 1 and 2. The last two. Ike Davis. After a successful 2010, Ike Davis started off 2011 on the right foot until it was twisted the wrong way. Suffered a left ankle sprain after colliding with David Wright. He ended up being misdiagnosed by the team, had cartilage damage, and ended up basically not playing well for the rest of the season. Was hurt on and off, and then ended up getting traded to the Pirates. J.J. Putz in 2008. You remember that guy?
I do. When I came in and saw the name, I was like, oh, man. He was actually an Oriole.
Yeah. 2008, the physical that he was getting would have detected a bone spur that was discovered when he was on the Mariners. It wasn't. So right there again, the Mets, that he never...
That little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
Right? Jose Reyes, that's all you have to say. Billy Wagner, hot and cold closer for the Mets.
Oh, man.
Elbow discomfort.
It's making me feel old, these names.
I know, right? Was basically misdiagnosed again. Those are just names. He ended up getting Tommy John surgery after that. These are names that have like basically screwed their careers, and screwed the Mets' seasons because of these injuries. And I don't know who it is. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's still the same physician. Yeah. It's like
it can't be.
After one, I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah, it can't be.
I'm just going and I'm saying it's the organization. There's a problem with the organization, and they have to fix it. Otherwise, it's just going to keep. You're still going to keep going on with this kind of play. I was going to get into basically the feuds in baseball, but
we could save that for.
We could save it for when we get back, and then we'll save it right. We'll talk about that right there before we get into the NFL draft. We have a lot of analysis. Obviously, we weren't able to talk about the draft because obviously it happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and no, just Saturday. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So with that, we'll get into everything that we were talking about last week. Tom, you weren't in. I did a mock draft. I can honestly say I think I only got one right, and that was Myles Garrett.
That's how the draft works.
The way that I put it is I don't put into consideration. I don't put any of the trades into consideration. Mm-hmm. So right there was a bunch of trades that happened in the first round. Yeah. So that was the problem for me. I think I actually have it. So when I bring back, when we come back from the break, I'll bring in the mock draft and we'll actually see.
We'll compare.
Even the players that maybe I picked for that spot, but we'll talk about that when we get back. We got feuds in the MLB and why I think we need it.
Yeah.
And the NFL draft when we get back. Running up the score.
All Noise Radio, powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Hey, this is Jerry Napoleonello, host of Running Up the Score. We are live once every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we hit on all the top headlines in the world of sports. You can also find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and those of you that like the visual aspect, check us out on YouTube. Running Up the Score. We run up the score on Sports Radio.
Cyberstation USA is the future of radio. Get your business into the online future at the world's largest internet radio station. From banner placement on our homepage to any of our broadcaster stages, commercials on our video player, audio spots on any of our shows, or at the beginning of any of our on-demand broadcasts. Cyberstation USA offers competitive rates with a worldwide reach, a fully integrated one-stop shop social media broadcast platform. For more information, please contact our sales department at Cameo at cyberstationusa.com.
Y'all trying to do
Running up the score, be sure to call in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. As Jerry said before the break, we're going to get into the feuds and why we feel baseball almost needs them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is something that baseball needs because you want something to watch. You want something that's...
Baseball's not for everybody.
Lack of better words, you love the hate. Mm-hmm. Like that's what made the old time sports great because there was hate.
Rivalries.
Like people hated each other. And like you would go up against a team and like you can hear these ex-players will talk about it. Mm-hmm. It was like we weren't going to talk to them. Like you hear these guys, it's like that they hate, like these old timers, they hate that these players for different teams are hanging out, are going out to dinner, doing this, doing. I mean, the Lakers and the Celtics hated each other. The Cowboys and the Redskins hated each other. They still do. I have to say, just during the draft. It was great to see, everything that happened between the Eagles fans and like Drew Pearson. And then you had Brian Westbrook and Brian Dawkins come out and say some stuff about the Cowboys. And, it fuels something. Mm-hmm. It fuels a rivalry. It makes things better to watch. And everything that's going on with the Orioles and the Red Sox, I think it's great for baseball. I enjoy it. I hate both teams. I hate the Red Sox more, obviously, but I'm a Yankees fan, and I'm enjoying every second of this. I mean, as you heard in the beginning, you have everything that happened with Manny Machado, Pedroia, and basically the whole Red Sox team. Yesterday's game, as you heard, they threw at Manny Machado again, and Manny Machado.
And not just that, it was happened to be probably the best pitcher in baseball.
Well, yeah,
or one of.
Oh yeah, it was a definite throw.
Just after striking out 2 people in 7 pitches.
Yeah,
just
like that. Like I said, it was. They definitely threw at him.
Yes,
there was no.
Yes.
Also, Alex Bregman. I guess maybe trying to fuel a rivalry between the Astros and the Rangers, tweeted out, in basically initials, beat the, obviously, bleep out of the Rangers. In that game, they end up throwing behind Napoli. Like, it's starting something. It's... Like I said, it's fun to watch. It's nice to have feuds in the MLB. I mean, just like the whole thing that happened with the Rangers and the Blue Jays last year. That was fun to watch.
It's going to take a lot to top that, though.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. everybody was tuning in to see if something happens.
Yep.
And I can guarantee you now, say, how many games have the Red Sox and the Orioles played?
This is the second series.
So this is the second series. So you're saying there's going to be 13 more games between these two teams. It's going to be a fun rest of the season.
Probably half of those will be on ESPN already, just based off what's been going on.
Exactly.
MLB Network will have the other games.
100%.
And if there's any time to have a feud, this is probably the best because you got the playoffs going on. You need
something to bring in
these
baseball
people.
fans. Yeah, exactly, because you have the NBA playoffs, you have the NHL playoffs,
and even to bring in people that don't normally. Because as I just said earlier, baseball's not for everybody. Not everybody's going to sit in front of a TV and watch baseball. You have to be pretty sick to do that. We happen to be pretty sick. But something like this, Manny Machado's up to bat. Let's turn on his game.
Yeah, that's just it's happened all throughout baseball though. Like it goes back to Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. I mean, ESPN was putting down like a ticker and just having their own category named Bonds, named McGuire, named Sosa, like when they were getting close. So people would see it on the bottom of ESPN. It's like, all right, well, we got to tune in now because something's going to happen. And that's what made baseball great. So now it's like, all right, that's why you see at the bottom of, of a telecast, so-and-so's got a no-hitter going through 7. All right, well, now I got to tune in. And that's what you want to see now with baseball. It's like, all right, it's the Red Sox and the Orioles now.
Exactly.
Let's tune in. Like something's going to happen. Fireworks are going to happen. Let's watch. So that's what I liked about this whole feud thing, and this is why I wanted to talk about it, because I feel like it's something that's helping the sport out. It's something that we need.
And baseball is the weird sport in where something like this carries on for so long.
Oh, absolutely.
This could go on for years.
Absolutely.
Where we've seen in years past people do something one year, spring training the next year, he gets plunked.
Oh, yeah.
It's baseball's sick.
That's what I'm saying. And that whole thing with the Rangers and the Blue Jays, that started in spring training. And, that like a lot of things happen in spring training. I remember...
You just don't see them because...
I remember the
reasons.
one year with the Yankees. I think it was Cervelli. At catcher. He ended up getting run over in spring training, breaks his wrist, I think, like that, missed the beginning of the season. And then that kind of started a feud. I forget who. I think it might have been the Blue Jays, I want to say. Blue Jays are getting a lot of stuff lately, those Canadians.
Yeah.
But
I thought they're supposed to be so friendly.
This is what Manny Machado had to say after last night's game.
I mean, that's stuff that you don't do. But I mean, I'm not on that side. I'm not on the organization. They're still thinking about that same slide that I did. That was no intention on hurting anybody. And I'm still paying. I'm still trying to get hit at, get thrown out of my head, get thrown out everywhere. It's bullshit. I've lost my respect for the organization, for that coaching staff, for everyone over there. I mean, if you're gonna hit me. Go ahead. Hit me. Don't let this keep lingering around and keep trying to hit people. I mean, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. MLB should do something about pitchers out there with balls in their hands, throwing 100 miles per hour, trying to hit people. I got a bat too. I could go up there and crush somebody if I wanted to. But you know what? I'll get suspended for the year, and the pitchers only get suspended for 2 games. That's not cool.
So he had some choice words. I think they counted 17 swears. So he definitely let them know how he felt. But like I said, this is what makes baseball. It could make baseball great again. But we're going to move on to another great sport, the NFL. NFL draft we had this weekend, and it definitely did not disappoint. Did you watch the draft?
I had it on. It's hard to keep, stay on there while you're waiting all these minutes for the picks, but no, I was overhearing all the picks, all the mayhem that ensued.
Well, I worked the draft at Sirius, so obviously it was to be honest with you, it was the first time that I've ever watched all 7 rounds of the NFL draft.
Good for you.
Every pick, I was there watching it. The first round, I had to take all the selections, so I was definitely in it on round 1, day 1. The rest of the rounds, it was, you just kind of, it was there. You had the NBA playoffs. I had to work that a little bit. So, it was definitely like in the background. It was being watched. It had it on the TV. It was whatever. But the first round, we'll get into the first round. We'll get into a little bit of the second round. And then we'll just kind of grade them out, each team, what we feel. And we'll start off, obviously, with the first round. Everybody knew it was going to happen. If the Browns passed up number 1 on Myles Garrett, there would have been a problem. It just, I mean, I don't know what to say if Cleveland would have passed.
It does seem to, it's not draft related, but a new side of Cleveland. They have been playing the draft game very well in terms of getting draft picks out of trades or whatever it might be. Could be a different Cleveland, hopefully.
I like their draft.
Yeah.
Their draft was really, really good.
They've been having good ones the past couple of years.
I have to say it was a good draft for the Cleveland Browns. Not the best, because honestly, I feel the best draft came out of San Francisco. And a rookie head coach, a rookie GM, and they played it really well. And it was nice because Peter King was able to chronicle their whole draft and how everything worked out. And his article was really good. It is on, Monday Morning Quarterback, MMQB, on his website. It was a really good one. It's definitely a good read. It's about 40 pages, but, but going on, Myles Garrett goes number 1. Number 2, this is where San Francisco.
Didn't take long for.
No, and this is where I felt San Francisco were geniuses. San Francisco, as you would hear in Peter King's article, San Francisco was trading out of number 2. They were willing to take Reuben Foster at number 3. They were dead set on it. They were willing. Their number 2 guy on their board was Solomon Thomas. Okay, so they, basically, I guess they were willing to get to not draft him, and they trade up with. Well, they trade down with Chicago. Chicago leaps one spot and traded, I think, 3 draft picks.
Yes, it was
3 or 4 draft picks. And Chicago would not tell San Francisco who they wanted. Little did anybody know that Chicago was going to trade up to number 2 to take quarterback out of North Carolina, Mitchell Trubisky. That was a surprise to everybody, and I think it was a big surprise to San Francisco, and San Francisco basically cleaned house. They take Solomon Thomas, the guy that they wanted at number 2, that they were willing to let go, and take Reuben Foster at number 3. Now, the kicker of that is that San Francisco gets another first-round pick at 31 at the end of the first round and take Reuben Foster that they were willing to take at number 3. So now they get 2 of their guys in the first round and get 3 draft picks on top of that.
Not bad.
Money.
Not bad,
just,
man.
I mean, clean house. Whew. Cleaned house. So, you
can't word it any better than you just did, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I just put the 49ers are God level at this point after that.
So, this is all in the article for Peter King. I wanted to print it out so we had it here, but I mean, just the amount of pages.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have killed my printer. But as I said, Mitchell Trubisky goes 2, Solomon Thomas 3. Leonard Fournette goes number 4 to Jacksonville, which at the time it seemed right. It seemed right. They needed a running back. Adrian Peterson signs with New Orleans. Basically they were looking for a running back. Now, I had them taking defensive lineman Jonathan Allen just because you take best available.
Yeah.
And you can never have enough defensive linemen.
No,
and this kid's a beast. Everybody's, and I even said it during the draft, the mock draft, everybody was worried about his shoulders. That was the problem, and that's probably why he dropped to, 17? 17 to Washington. So Jacksonville takes Leonard Fournette, which, some people will say he's the best in the draft, the best running back in the draft. Other people may say Christian McCaffrey. Other people may say Dalvin Cook. Whatever happens, they get Leonard Fournette number 1. In their first pick at number 4. This was where it got interesting. Corey Davis goes number 5 to Tennessee. Wide receiver. I didn't think the wide receivers were going to go this early.
Yeah.
I think the earliest I took a wide receiver was 10 for Buffalo, taking Mike Williams. Mike Williams obviously went earlier than that. He went to the Chargers at 7. So we have Corey Davis going number 5. We have Mike Williams going number 7. So that's 2 wide receivers already taken in the first round. And we have a guy that some may say is the best in the draft or second best behind Myles Garrett in Jamal Adams.
Yep.
And the Jets get him at number 6. So
I think that was a case of best available in their eyes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's someone just dropping in your lap.
Kind of like a few years ago with their pick.
Leonard Williams.
Yes.
I mean, just someone that drops into their lap. I said that in the draft, the mock draft, I said that their needs were cornerback, quarterback, tight end, linebacker, right guard, left tackle, and safety. They take their safety. So I had Jamal Adams going 3 to Chicago. So, but we're going to take a break here. And we'll get more into the draft. We'll go on from 7 to 32, and then we'll talk about the steals in the second round. When we get back, you're listening to Running Up the Score.
Cameo Entertainment Group and Cyberstation USA are now part of Stitcher, a free radio app for your smartphone. With Stitcher, you can listen to live programming as well as archive radio programming right on your phone. To obtain Stitcher, just go to the App Store for your particular phone. Go to search, then type in Stitcher. That's Stitcher, S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. Then download. It's that simple. Stitcher, a free radio app for your smartphone. Convenient access to live and archived Cyberstation USA programming on your mobile phone. That's Stitcher, S-T-I-T-C-H-E-R. Cyberstation USA, always on the go.
Hey, this is Jerry Napoleonello, host of Running Up the Score. We are live once every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we hit on all the top headlines in the world of sports. You can also find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and those of you that like the visual aspect, check us out on YouTube. Running Up the Score. We run up the score on Sports Radio.
All Noise Radio. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. All Noise Radio is an internet radio station that's fully produced by graduates of the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. From modern rock to old school hip hop, country to classical, news, talk, sports, and more. It's the noise you can't ignore. Log on to allnoiseradio.com. Fire up the station. Find out more about your favorite jocks. Get the latest CSB news and more. Plus, you can take All Noise Radio with you on the go for free. Just download the Live 365 app to your iPhone, iPod Touch, or BlackBerry and search All Noise Radio. Check out tomorrow's broadcasters today at allnoiseradio.com. Powered by the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Hey mama, I made it to the bright lights and stages. I remember I was so impatient, and now we got the whole wide world waiting. Hey mama, I made it. Yep, your son all grown up. I get so busy, it get hard to pick the phone up. If 404 it, 7708, I got
Running Up the Score. Call in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. As you heard the song, a lot of these kids are saying, Mama, I made it.
Yeah.
Made it to the NFL. And we're going to continue here. We're going to try to speed up a little bit because, we're running out of time here. But as I said, 7 Mike Williams.
Most of the juice happened
on
this
definitely
first section, so it works out.
Christian McCaffrey going to Carolina at 8, which I thought was going to happen. They needed a running back.
Yeah. Well, more so, Cam just needs someone to dump off to.
Yeah, that's true too. Now we're going to get into a little bit more of the question marks or the how did this happen kind of thing. John Ross, obviously the guy that beat Chris Johnson's record in the 40, he goes number 9 to Cincinnati. So again, this is another wide receiver taken within the top 10. That's what I thought was a real big head scratcher.
Wow. Just noticing 5 of the top 10 running back or wide receiver.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
it's been a while.
Yeah,
that has been a while since that.
So then number 10, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now number 10 was Buffalo. So they move up. Wow, they moved up. They moved up from 27 to come to number 10 to take Patrick Mahomes. So now this is the other head scratcher. Was not that I don't think that Patrick Mahomes is not going to be good. I think he's going to be a decent quarterback. But the fact that Trubisky and Mahomes are the first two quarterbacks taken. Deshaun Watson's still out there.
Yeah.
You still had, other quarterbacks out there that were waiting. Deshaun Kaiser.
Call me crazy. I think teams are looking for a Derek Carr.
I think so too.
I think that's what they're looking for. That exciting, young, takes chances, slings the ball everywhere. I think that's what they're looking for.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's looking for. Marshawn Lattimore.
The one I like
solid
about
pick.
What I like about the Chiefs though is there's no pressure to start right away.
No, because
he can learn from a very good, controlled quarterback. Very aware of where he's throwing. It's a good quarterback to learn from when you're a gunslinger like
Absolutely.
this guy is.
Marshawn Lattimore, great pick for New Orleans at 11. I had him going number 5 to Tennessee, so to get him at number 11, great pick. This
is where
I think I think it's a great pick.
Yes,
I think it's a great pick.
I agree.
Deshaun Watson going number 12 to Houston, I think is a great pick. I think this is what Houston needs.
The only downside, if you will, I don't even think it's too much of a downside, is the amount of picks they had to spend.
Yeah.
In terms of with the Brock Osweiler. But quarterback is what you need. It's the most important. People will spend 4 first-rounders if they have to.
Yeah, and the analysis on him here, what we're reading, he's best when the lights are brightest. That's the biggest compliment you can give a quarterback. Watch both Alabama tapes and tell this kid can't play the freaking ball.
It's true.
Which is true. I mean, he beats Alabama in the national championship. He loses to Alabama the year before, but he puts on a show against Alabama, which is usually looked at as the most NFL.
Well, they only had 16 first rounders this year.
So I thought it was a great pick. Hassan Reddick going to number 13 to Arizona, great pick.
A quick question. I know we're kind of on time. Do you think he'll start this year?
Deshaun
Watson? They said he's not. But do you think he'll end up starting? Because I do.
4 weeks in, I say
I think he'll be starting this year.
Absolutely. I think he'd definitely be starting this year. Derek Barnett at 14 for Philadelphia is a great pick. I had him going 11. Malik Hooker going to Indianapolis at 15. I had him going number 7. Marlon Humphrey to Baltimore, I think is he's a big corner.
Yeah.
It's something that they need. They've been losing, their
secondary's been a weakness for a while.
And they've been losing a lot of guys to injury, so it's something that they desperately need. They need to get younger, definitely in the secondary. And
one of the best moves Washington's made in a while.
Yeah, I was close with Marlon Humphrey too. I had him at 13, he went 16. Then you have Jonathan Allen to Washington. Great pick. I mean, I thought he was maybe going to slide to 28 to the Cowboys. I would have cried. But, you move on. Adoree Jackson going a little higher than I thought.
I thought Tennessee had a bad draft.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't like what they did with either of their first rounders. I don't. And I'm kind of like a fan since they got Mariota, as we were talking before the show. I just don't like either of the first round picks. You're taking developmental corner at 18.
And he's small too. That was one of the problems with Adoree Jackson was he's small.
If you can't play corner, I mean, throw him at safety. I guess. Yeah. But that's 18. You're saying that.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't even. I had him going 29 to Green Bay.
This next pick, really like.
I mean,
yes.
Talking about a guy that just falls into your lap. O.J. Howard, tight end, goes to Tampa Bay.
This guy was top 10.
Absolutely.
Top 5 maybe.
I mean, I had him going. Well, actually, it was funny because I was going off of a couple other guys' mock drafts, and I was just kind of getting a sense of how, obviously using their. I guess, what they heard and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of putting a bunch of mock drafts together and just kind of what I felt would go there, like just out of, the guys that they had going. And I thought that they had him going a little higher than I wanted. So I ended up forgetting him on my mock draft. So I'm surprised nobody saw that.
I'm not going to lie. That's almost what seems to happen to all the teams that didn't take him.
Yeah.
They forgot he was there.
Yeah. So he goes to 19, I think, to add to that, just to add.
I like that a
to
lot.
Mike Evans, add to Jameis Winston, in that offense, I think
really
it's a
like
great
that
pick. Garrett Bowles going to Denver. They need an offensive line, so that's a great pick.
It's not a sexy pick.
No,
it's offensive lineman,
obviously.
But
I mean,
it's the glue.
That's what gets your team to where you want to be.
That's the look at the Cowboys.
Exactly.
That's all you got to say.
Then you go on to Jared Davis going to Detroit. That's a great pick. Great linebacker out of Florida. Charles Harris. This is a guy that I liked a lot. He's a big boy, and he goes to Miami. Evan Ingram, tight end, goes to the Giants.
They've needed a tight end for a while.
They did need a tight end. Do I think he's a real tight end?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the.
He runs a 4.4.
Either way,
but
it's another
something
weapon
that they need. Now we get into the questionable picks. Garyon Conley goes to the Oakland Raiders. I didn't think he was going to go this early. Great corner. I didn't think he was going to go this early because of the allegations. I think the whole story is a bunch of crap. I don't think he did anything.
I think he got cleared.
Basically, so to me, I think this was a somewhat risk and a high reward.
They must have, really had a good interview.
Yeah, definitely. Jabril Peppers goes 25. Obviously, a lot of the talk was the week before with having the diluted sample, which I don't. I spoke about that last week. I don't like that whole thing. So we move on. Takars McKinley. He made some news because he brought a picture up of his grandmother, went on this rant on the stage, ends up cursing, tells the league to find him later, blah, blah, blah. It was funny. Then he takes a picture the other day. This is where I have the problem. If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I'm going to have a little questions. I'm going to have some questions for Tack about this. Puts up a picture of him and his dog. His dog's wearing a Falcons jersey. Okay.
Good start.
That's fine.
Good start.
Then he goes, my dog Codeine is ready for Atlanta.
That's good start is no longer good.
Yeah, that's the question. Why is your dog named Codeine? That scares me.
I just would have went with Cody.
Yeah.
Even if that is his name.
Yeah.
Just go Cody.
Don't put that on social media. Don't that was a problem. So
on broader news, I love the Cowboys pick.
Cowboys taking Taco Charlton.
I mean,
I was a little.
That's just advertisement waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Especially in Dallas.
Yeah. I was a little iffy on it. To be honest with you, I like the rest of their draft. The rest of their draft was really good. But I felt like the team kind of fell in love with his size, which, don't get me wrong, is great. But, yeah, I was questioning it. But, I mean, Rob Marinelli is one of the best, if not the best. So I believe in him.
Yep.
David Njoku, tight end, goes to Cleveland. TJ Watt goes 30 to Pittsburgh. Reuben Foster goes 31, as I said earlier, to the 49ers. Great pick. Ryan Ramczyk goes number 32 to New Orleans Saints. That was the Patriots pick. And then
Wisconsin and their offensive linemen.
Yeah,
it just never ends.
Then you had some second round steals. DeShone Kizer going to the Browns. Tim Williams, linebacker, Alabama, goes to the Ravens. I thought that was a very good pick. Juju Smith-Schuster goes to Steelers to add to that wide receiving core, something that they need to. Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I like that.
A lot of people thought he was the best running back in the draft. He goes the second round and goes to the Vikings, where they just get rid of Adrian Peterson and they just add Dalvin Cook in there. So that was a solid pick for the Vikings.
No-nonsense coach he's going to also.
Yeah, exactly. And then Taywan Taylor, Western Kentucky, he goes to Titans. Another wide receiver. Whatever. But that's Tennessee. But when we get back, we're going to get into some NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and maybe some more baseball. You're listening to Running Up the Score.
This is the evolution of radio.
Cyberstation USA.
Our inventions change us. They make us think differently.
Something new added to the real world.
The leading edge of evolution.
That development has got to be delivered.
CyberstationUSA.com.
The most sophisticated that I've ever seen.
I'm not sure exactly what the future is, but I'm pretty sure it's not going away.
Hey, this is Jerry Napoleonello, host of Running Up the Score. We are live once every week at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we hit on all the top headlines in the world of sports. You can also find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and those of you that like the visual aspect, check us out on YouTube. Running Up the Score. We run up the score on sports radio.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting founder Dick Robinson.
You know, the media business has changed a lot since we opened our doors in 1964. Now media content is everywhere, on air, online, on the go. More than ever, companies are looking for people to help drive this new media.
At Connecticut School of Broadcasting, you'll get hands-on training on the latest software and equipment in a matter of months, not years. Connecticut School of Broadcasting has placed thousands of grads in broadcast media careers.
It's all about versatility. You see, at a radio station, if you also know how to shoot, edit, and post videos, you become a pretty hot commodity. That's the training you get at Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting, with locations up and down the East Coast, from Massachusetts to Miami. Call 1-800-TV-RADIO or log on to GoCSB.com. Connecticut School of Broadcasting, the nation's oldest and largest group of broadcast media schools, redefining training in radio, TV, and new media. Get trained. Get connected. 1-800-TV-RADIO.
I don't wanna know, who's taking you home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, no, I don't wanna know, who's taking you home.
We are back. Call in at 605-562-7085. Press 5 to be heard live. Give us a tweet at RUTS Sports. Before we get into some of the playoffs, we do want to go over the over-under with the NFL. It got released, I believe, early this week or last week.
Yeah, actually, I think it was like either Sunday or Monday. It was one of those days.
And a few interesting ones.
Yeah, I mean, we'll start off with the AFC East. They got Buffalo at 6. I say over.
I'm going over.
I say maybe 7 or 8. Miami 7.5. I go under.
I'm going under.
New England Patriots at 11. Over.
Over.
Jets 5.5. Under.
Yeah.
I'm going under. 100%.
Yeah.
AFC North. Baltimore Ravens 9.5. This was something.
Which means
that
over.
You're
You're expecting 10 wins. I don't know what they did. I don't. And I'm a Ravens fan. I just don't get it.
I'm gonna go under, but I'm gonna
too.
say maybe 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah, no,
though,
I could see 9, but 10 is just pushing it for me.
Cincinnati Bengals 8.5.
I'm going under.
Cleveland Browns 4. I'm gonna say under. I think they get the number 1 pick again.
Are you saying they're Philadelphia 76ering?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're gonna start Deshaun Kaiser early.
I like it. Okay.
To maybe go for Sam Darnold. Yeah, that's my thought on it. Pittsburgh Steelers 10.5.
I don't know.
To get to 11 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10 is a good number, so I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
AFC South, Houston Texans 8.5.
Over.
I'm gonna say maybe 9 or 10 wins.
Over.
So I'm gonna go over. Indianapolis Colts 9.
Under. I don't know.
I'm gonna say it's a push. I think 9 wins.
Okay.
Jacksonville Jaguars 5.5. It's all on Bortles, and I'm a little questionable on
off of that information. Under.
I would go with 5. So I guess.
Ooh, it looks like people. Vegas is starting to believe in the Tennessee
Titans. Yeah, they get 2 wide receivers in the first 2 rounds, and they, I'm gonna go with under.
Yeah, 10 wins is a lot.
Yeah,
but that is not a very.
It's a weak division. It is
weaker. Texans are good.
Texans are gonna win that division though.
I'll go under.
Like for you to sit here and tell me that the Tennessee Titans are gonna have a better record than the Houston Texans, you're out of your bird. AFC West, Denver Broncos 8.5. Still quarterback issues.
Tough division. I'm going under 8. 8 and 8.
I'm gonna say under as well. I say 7. Kansas City Chiefs at 9. I'm gonna say over. You know what? No.
I'm feeling a push there.
That's what I was just about to say. I think I'm feeling a push. The Chargers 7.5.
Under.
I say under. Oakland Raiders. I say over.
Yes, because they're gonna win that division, and there's some easy wins in there.
Cowboys 9.5.
Over.
They have a tough schedule. They really do have a tough schedule. I'm afraid to see what Dak is going to be in the second round, in the second year.
Some more adjustments coming
again,
out.
As everybody knows, I don't pick anything when it comes to the Cowboys. So, we're going to leave it at that. New York Giants at 9. I say push.
Yeah, I was just feeling the same thing there.
Philadelphia Eagles 8.5.
I'm going under 8 and 8.
I was just about to say 8 and 8. Washington Redskins 7.5. I say under.
Under.
Then we move on to the NFC North. The Bears at 5. Under.
Under.
Detroit
Especially after what we just saw out of them.
Detroit Lions 8.
Under.
I say push.
Okay.
Green Bay Packers at 10. I say push.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Vikings 8.5. I say under at 8.
I'm saying over at 9.
Okay. NFC South, Falcons at 10. I say push.
I was thinking over, maybe 11.5 I could see.
Carolina Panthers 9. I say push.
Push.
The Saints 8.5.
Under.
I'm gonna say under too.
7 or 8 out of them.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 8. I say over.
I think this could be.
I think a 9.
I think this could be a surprise year for them.
9-7 season. Arizona Cardinals 7.5.
I want to say over.
I'm going to say over. I think they're going to have a different year.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams 5.5 under.
Under.
San Francisco 49ers. I like what the 49ers have done.
I think it's too early though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna say over because I think they could get to 5.
Okay, I respect that. I'm saying 4 and 12, so under.
Seattle Seahawks 10.5. I say under, just because it's 10.5.
I want to say over just because of that division.
Yeah. Okay.
There's some easy, 3-4 easy wins there.
Now we move on to the NBA playoffs. We're not really going to...
Yes, we are still waiting for Golden State, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Exactly. Questionable. Warriors said they were pulling for the Clippers because of the nightlife. That's where I have a problem.
Was this team-oriented or was this Matt Barnes-oriented?
Well, it was Matt Barnes-oriented, and I think Draymond Green said something.
Okay.
But really, those are the only two that you heard it out of. Does it surprise you?
No. Not from those two.
Just that's not something that you want to hear.
No,
the way I'm looking at it is, it's like, all right, well, the Warriors are worried about their nightlife rather than getting a championship. Like,
but the thing is, you can't even say like you hope someone beats them because nobody's gonna beat them.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in the West.
But speaking about the Clippers, should the Clippers blow up that team?
Yes, it's over.
Absolutely,
it's over.
110%.
It's done.
They're just they are the Capitals of the NBA, and the Capitals are the Clippers of the NHL. Now, we were talking about it earlier before the show, and I showed you the video. Some people may not have seen it. Some people may have. That last game against the Jazz, there was a loose ball. Joe Ingles kind of jumps on it, and it kind of looks like Chris Paul may go to kick him in the head. I had to watch it like 25 times.
The one thing I wasn't paying attention to in that clip was the score. Was that when
they were losing? This was like the fourth
was it over
quarter.
though?
Yeah,
okay,
it was absolutely. So, I'm gonna say he wasn't trying to kick him.
As we said,
face.
we were talking off air. I think if we got a different angle, it would look a lot different.
Because we've only saw it from one angle.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like he was kicking the ball.
Either way, he should not have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But even that, we'll get into something that I'm gonna question as well when we get on to NHL. Cleveland Cavaliers, Toronto Raptors. Cavs lead this series 1-0. I think they play tonight.
Yes. They'll probably win by 20 again.
Yeah, I know. Dante Jones now. This is pretty funny. Dante Jones gets ejected from the game for 2 technicals, and he gets fined $6,000. Okay, that's nothing to an NBA player.
So you think?
Yeah. No, he got signed at the end of the season with the Cavaliers to a $9,000 contract. So he's got $3,000 left. The only thing is LeBron ended up saying that he'd pay for it. Whatever. I just thought that was funny.
Which entails Cleveland Cavaliers most likely paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically LeBron's team.
Washington Wizards, Boston Celtics. This series is pretty good. You have to commend.
Yeah.
Isaiah
Absolutely.
Thomas. I mean, he's 53 points last night. It ended up turning out to be his sister's birthday.
Yeah,
everything that's gone on with this guy. I mean, he has it right before the playoffs start. His sister gets killed in a 1-car accident. Then, he has to deal with, the funeral and everything like that in between these games. And then the first game of this series, he ends up getting his tooth knocked out. He plays the rest of the game. Then he has dental work done before yesterday's game.
Not to mention the funeral.
And then the funeral in between series. I mean, what can I say about this guy?
This is what makes sports.
Yeah.
It's stories like these.
He's the reason why the Boston Celtics were the number 1 seed. He's the reason why the Celtics are where they are right now.
Absolutely.
Everybody else, you look at this team. This team has talent. But do we think they're going to beat the Cavaliers? Absolutely not.
No, I think that run's going to end.
Yeah. Utah Jazz, Golden State Warriors. Golden State leads this 1-0. This series is nothing.
Yes,
I like Utah a lot.
I do too.
I think their defense is good, but it's just Golden State is at a different level, and I think they're at a different level than anybody else. I think they're even on a different level than the Cleveland Cavaliers. So
we shall find out soon enough.
Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs. I don't think I saw this coming. I thought Houston may have won, but the
only
way
thing
that they won,
I believe they made 22 threes.
But that's all they've done all season.
Yeah, but that's the second most in playoff history.
No, I know.
That's not going to happen again. So the next game should be closer. That's all.
Then NHL. The Rangers end up getting a win last
Much
game.
Needed.
Ottawa's up 2-1. They blew a lead in game 2.
Yeah, that's why they really needed a standout performance in game 3.
Capitals, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh took an early series lead, 2-0. Third game comes. Washington has a 2-0 lead with 2 minutes left. They give up 2 goals to get into overtime. Now, this is where everybody's saying, it's the Washington Capitals.
Yep.
This is what you're going to get. Now, they end up obviously winning the game. Kevin Shattenkirk.
People are probably still saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like I said, they are the Clippers of hockey. And if they lose this series, do you blow up this team?
You have to.
I think you have to too. But now,
how many times can you try?
Where we have to go on this is Sidney Crosby's hit. Do you think it's on purpose?
Yes. I think it's on purpose, but I don't think it was meant to be as hard or as serious as it was. But there was intent to give a little extra.
I don't think it was on purpose. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't think it's on purpose.
Even
if you
with
watch
it on
the
purpose,
video,
I don't have that much.
It's
hockey.
no, I know.
It's hockey playoffs.
The thing is, if you watch the replay again, Niskanen never really looks at Crosby. His eye is always on the puck, and he just kind of tries to brace himself.
I guess, or
Now, the Ovechkin stick to Crosby's head right before that led to him getting hit that way. That is where it's
that's a horse of a different color.
Yeah, exactly. But what does this mean for the rest of the series? Now, the concussion issues with Sidney Crosby his whole career.
Yes.
Obviously, everybody knows that. If you're a Pittsburgh Penguins fan or you're a part of the organization, you're hoping it's not like it always has been, where it ends up turning into a 3-year, injury. So that's what they're hoping for. If he's out of this series, I think this series is way turned up.
You have to blow it up if they lose and Crosby's out.
Oh, yeah. Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues. Nashville's up 2-1. The goalie performances in this series have been absolutely amazing.
Nashville's no joke, man.
Yeah. Pecorine, and you got Jake Allen on the other side. I mean, they've both been playing basically standing on each other's heads. Anaheim Ducks, Edmonton Oilers. As I've said, with these last two series, Edmonton is showing their age, and the teams that are playing them are showing their age. You can see that the other teams are older, obviously. But that will do it for hockey and NBA. But real quick before we end the show, Dak and Ezekiel are 1-2 in jersey sales. First time that two rookies have ever held the top two spots. And how about a fan getting grazed by a bullet in Busch Stadium?
Yeah, nothing like a fun-filled day of getting grazed by bullets at a baseball game.
It's crazy, but we got more to talk about. We'll talk about next week.
Yeah.
We've had some really good shows actually lately. We've had
lucky,
a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, because times in the past during baseball season have been rough.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot to talk about. Let's hope some people still get thrown at and get hit in baseball.
Keep it interesting.
Yeah, right. But that will do it for Running Up the Score. Me and Tom will be back next Wednesday. We're hoping that maybe we can get our other partner in here. We
seem to have a thing now with Wednesday. It seems to be.
Yeah,
this is a nice little routine I think we have going.
I think Wednesday's the day.
Yes.
So if you want to tune in to us, it's going to be Wednesdays.
Yes.
But that will do it for today's show. I'm Jerry.
I'm Tom.
Beat Breezy.
You've been listening to Running Up the Score on Zero Radio.